Welcome to Dolphin Dive Daily, your go-to spot for everything Miami Dolphins. If you bleed aqua and orange, hit that subscribe button and join the pod. The Miami Dolphins made a surprising move on Tuesday, shaking up their roster with a couple of significant announcements. The Dolphins have claimed defensive tackle Matthew Butler off waivers from the Las Vegas Raiders, a decision that has raised some eyebrows in the NFL community. To make room for Butler, the Dolphins also waived defensive tackle Trevon Ribka. While these roster moves might not be huge in terms of star power, they could have important implications for the team's defensive line depth as we move further into the offseason. Matthew Butler, at just 25 years old, is a name that has been floating around the league since 2022. Drafted by the Raiders as a fifth-round pick, Butler had high hopes for a strong NFL career. He signed a 4-year, $3.9 million contract with the Raiders, which showed the team's belief in his potential. Unfortunately for Butler, his journey with Las Vegas didn't unfold as expected, and he found himself being waived a year later. Despite this, he continued to bounce back by joining the team's practice squad. The Raiders' decision to waive Butler this week marks another chapter in his uncertain NFL career. Over the last couple of seasons, Butler has struggled to secure a consistent role on the active roster, spending much of his time on and off the Raiders' practice squad. This volatility has kept him from gaining the stability he was hoping for when he first entered the league. However, the Dolphins are now giving him a fresh start, offering him a chance to prove himself and perhaps carve out a more prominent spot in their defensive rotation. Butler's tenure with the Raiders, though, brief, did give him some exposure to NFL action. In 2024, he played in 7 games, which included 1 start. During those games, he managed to record 9 tackles, though he didn't register any sacks. These numbers are far from eye-popping, but they demonstrate that Butler has at least been involved in the defensive action. His lack of sacks, however, might be something the Dolphins are looking to address as they work on bolstering their pass rush. It remains to be seen if Butler can develop into the player Las Vegas initially hoped for when they drafted him. The Dolphins are no strangers to making roster adjustments in the offseason, and this move is no exception. While Butler may not have been a standout player for the Raiders, his youth and potential make him an intriguing addition to the Dolphins' defense. Miami's defensive line is an area where they have consistently sought improvement, and Butler could be a piece of this puzzle in their ongoing efforts to strengthen their front seven. Given the Dolphins' competitive aspirations, they are clearly hoping that Butler can bring something to the table that the Raiders couldn't fully unlock. On the other hand, the Dolphins' decision to waive Trevon Ribka shows that they are not afraid to make tough calls when necessary. Ribka, a defensive tackle who had been with the Dolphins for a while, now finds himself on the outside looking in. Waiving him opens up a spot for Butler, who may have more upside or simply fit better into the team's evolving plans. NFL rosters are fluid, and this move signals that the Dolphins are actively trying to improve their depth chart, even if it means parting ways with a player like Ribka. This roster shakeup also highlights how quickly the NFL can change for players, particularly those who are on the fringes of making a lasting impact in the league. Butler's journey thus far has been marked by uncertainty, but it also speaks to the unpredictability of professional football. One week, a player can be waived, and the next they could be starting for a new team. For Butler, this opportunity with the Dolphins represents a new chapter, one where he will be aiming to prove that his NFL career isn't defined by a series of setbacks. The Dolphins' defensive line has been a focal point of improvement over the last couple of seasons. With the addition of Butler, the team is signaling that they're still committed to enhancing this unit, especially with the expectations surrounding their upcoming season. Miami has been active in making changes to ensure they remain competitive in the AFC, and adding a young, potentially talented player like Butler fits into their long-term plans. The defensive tackle position in particular has seen a lot of turnover across the league, and the Dolphins are looking to stay ahead of the curve. As the Dolphins head into training camp, there will likely be a lot of competition for roster spots, particularly along the defensive line. Butler's ability to impress during camp and the preseason will be key to securing a spot on the team's 53-man roster. Given his history with the Raiders, it's clear that Butler has the raw tools to succeed, but he'll need to prove that. He can make an impact in a crowded defensive rotation. The Dolphins coaching staff will likely take a close look at his work ethic and ability to fit into their defensive scheme. It's important to remember that NFL teams are constantly evaluating and adjusting their rosters based on what they see in practice and games. Butler's claim by the Dolphins could be a sign of their belief that he has untapped potential, and they are willing to invest the time and resources needed to develop him. The move also serves as a reminder of the fluidity of the NFL roster and process, where one player's exit can create an opportunity for someone else. As the season progresses, it will be interesting to watch Butler's growth and see if he can contribute to the Dolphins' defensive line in a meaningful way. Still, with us? Then show some love. Hit that like button and let us know in the comments. What's your take on the Fins this week? Big news in the NFL world as the Miami Dolphins make a splash in free agency by signing cornerback C.J. Henderson, adding a much-needed boost to their defensive backfield. Henderson, who was once considered a top draft pick, has found a new home in Miami after stints with both the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Carolina Panthers. The Dolphins, looking to solidify their defense, have made a clear statement with this move. Henderson, known for his athleticism and potential, will be looking to revive his career and showcase his skills on a team with Super Bowl aspirations. Henderson's arrival in Miami is a pivotal moment for a Dolphins defense that has shown flashes of brilliance but has also been inconsistent at times. With his exceptional coverage ability and ball skills, Henderson is expected to make an immediate impact on the field, especially in a division filled with talented quarterbacks like Josh Allen and Mac Jones. The addition of Henderson allows the Dolphins to compete at an even higher level in the AFC East. When Henderson entered the NFL in 2020 as the 9th overall pick, expectations were sky high. His combination of size, speed, and agility made him a prototypical cornerback for the modern NFL. However, his journey has been a bit rocky. After a promising rookie season with Jacksonville, Henderson struggled to find his footing in Carolina. But now, Miami presents the perfect opportunity for him to get back to his best. The Dolphins are known for their strong defensive culture, and Henderson's versatility fits perfectly into that scheme. One of the most intriguing aspects of this move is the leadership role that Henderson could assume in the Dolphins' secondary. With veteran cornerback Xavier Howard already anchoring the defense, Henderson's arrival provides a fresh dynamic to the group. Both players possess elite skills, and their pairing could potentially form one of the most dangerous cornerback duos in the league. Together, they will have the challenge of limiting explosive plays from some of the NFL's most potent offenses. In a division like the AFC East, where passing attacks are becoming more and more potent, having a shutdown corner is invaluable. The Dolphins are clearly investing in the defense to compete with the likes of the Buffalo Bills and the New England Patriots. By adding Henderson, they strengthen their secondary and position themselves to be a legitimate contender in the AFC. A strong defensive backfield is often the key to winning close games, and Henderson could prove to be a game changer. Another exciting aspect of Henderson's signing is his potential for growth. Miami's coaching staff, led by head coach Mike McDaniel, has proven to get the best out of its players, and Henderson could be the next success story. His ability to learn and adapt to different systems will be crucial as he continues to evolve. As a player, the Dolphins are hoping that their coaching staff can unlock Henderson's full potential, allowing him to live up to the promise he showed as a young prospect. The Dolphins have been active this offseason, making several strategic moves to improve their roster. Henderson's signing is just the latest in a series of additions that have bolstered their chances of competing for a playoff spot. Miami is clearly focused on building a team that can challenge for the AFC Championship and beyond, and Henderson's arrival adds another layer of depth and talent to their defense. The Dolphins are making a strong push to return to prominence in the NFL. For Henderson, this move represents a fresh start, and he will be eager to prove himself in Miami. There's no doubt that the Dolphins front office and coaching staff are expecting big things from the young cornerback. Henderson's ability to cover elite wide receivers and his knack for creating turnovers will be key factors in his success. If he can live up to the expectations, he could become a cornerstone piece of the Dolphins' defense for years to come. Looking ahead to the upcoming season, Henderson will be looking to make an immediate impact on a team with high aspirations. His performance will be closely watched by fans and analysts alike, as everyone is eager to see if he can regain his form and show the potential that made him a top draft pick. With the Dolphins' defense already strong, Henderson's presence could be the missing piece that takes them to the next level. As the Dolphins continue to shape their roster, adding Henderson is a reminder of their commitment to winning now. The team is clearly all in on making a Super Bowl run, and Henderson's signing is one of the bold moves they are making to ensure that they have the necessary pieces in place. With a loaded roster and a defense that's only getting stronger, the Miami Dolphins are setting themselves up for a bright future, and CJ Henderson could play a big part in that success. That's a wrap for today's dive. If you're loving the content, share it with a fellow Dolphins fan, hit subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss a splash. Fins up!